You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, I've got your early edition spoilers for the week of May 12th through the 16th. Lulu drops a Dante bombshell on Tracy. Kristina's trying to play nice, and lots more. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please click subscribe. As we always do on early edition day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week, beginning on Wednesday, May 7th. So Kristina is extending an olive branch. She has run into Ric and Ava at Alexis's office, and Kristina may do as Lucky advised and try to play nice with Ava. And in the promo, it sounded like Kristina might be confessing to Ric when she brings up his car crash, but she's not gonna do that. You know, she's still hanging on, and she doesn't know. Alexis knows. And what's ironic is that the other three people, everybody in that room knows what Kristina did. Alexis and Ric and Ava all know. And the thing is, Kristina just doesn't know that they know. So it would kind of be fun if it came out when all of them were in the room at the same time. But I think that's hoping for it to move too fast. Lulu, of course, is thankful that Rocco came out of this ordeal okay, even though he had to have his stomach pumped. But she also thinks that somebody went too far. Could be Dante, could be their son. And when Lulu was creeping around, being the nosy Nancy that she is, and saw Lois yelling at Dante about he doesn't know who Gio is, well, Lulu may be figuring out exactly who Gio is. You know, she is an investigative reporter. And on Wednesday, Dante is ranting at Lois, please go ahead, tell me who Gio really is. And of course, Lois has to back down because she's already said too much. And just real quick, I want to address some people that were upset with me in the comments where I laid blame on Danny about Rocco getting drunk. No, I will clarify, Danny didn't pour booze down Rocco's throat. However, Danny did significantly pressure Rocco to get him to go to that party. He put him in a situation that turned out to be dangerous, and kids will be kids. You know, Danny's young too, but they never should have been there. And if not for Danny dragging him along, Rocco would have been home safe. So yes, I do blame Danny for pressuring his brother, but not for all the booze that ended up in his belly. He also bailed on his brother at the party to go do something else, even though Rocco said he could go. You don't do that. When you go to the party, you stick with your friends, you watch out for each other, and they're more than friends, they're brothers. All right, Brooklyn gets thrown for a loop, and it may be when she hears about Dante lashing out at Gio. Also, Brooklyn tells Chase that she did something she needs to talk to him about, and I wonder if this is about the appointment they have later in the week with Alexis. Gio has a serious talk with Emma, and he may be opening up about his confrontation with Dante and how he was trying to blame him for what happened to Rocco, and just that Gio does feel guilty. He is accepting responsibility when he is far less to blame than Danny is, and if you get mad at me, that's okay, but Gio didn't bring him there, even though he was of age and knew there were minors there. He's not the cops. Danny talked Rocco into it. This whole thing is a mess, and we've all been to, you know, parties as teens that went bad, where we saw things happen to our friends. So Brennan is talking to Vaughn and warns him that if someone, she, begins to suspect they're interested in Dalton, it could be a problem. And I wonder if Brennan is talking about Anna figuring it out, because Dalton has a direct tie with a similar school in his past that Emma does. And of course, Anna's on high alert about Emma. She assaulted Brennan over it. So we'll see. Emma talks to Josh and wants her to keep a secret. So I wonder if Emma's going to confess to Josh exactly why is she so interested in Dalton and being his assistant. I don't think it's the summer job. I actually don't think it is some kind of amorous crush. I think it's something to do with Emma's activism, but we'll see. Thursday, May 8th, Portia is peppering Willow with questions. Of course, she wants to know exactly how much Drew knows about the ketamine and where it came from and all this stuff, because Portia is very scared it's going to be out. She thought she covered her butt by threatening Brad and planning to blame him as a backup, but little does she know that's not going to work out for her. Nina and Curtis do some commiserating. Nina, of course, can't reveal she's behind Drew's drugging, or else she would have to omit Portia from that and explain where she got ketamine. So I think she's not. I just think it's more of Nina and Curtis talking about, well, you know, maybe Drew's going to pull out from under this, which would be too bad because they want him to go down. Jason gives somebody some tough love. No doubt it is Danny being at an underage party and doing some drinking and letting Rocco get wasted. Brad makes a life-changing choice on Thursday. Now, Drew already promised Brad $500K for the info that Portia was behind the drugging and made him get the ketamine. And he offered him another $500K for a task not yet revealed. And I wonder if Drew wants Brad to go down and make an official statement to Mac Scorpio. Friday, May 9th, Lulu's grilling Ned. Of course, Lulu overheard Lois fighting with Dante about Gio. I do suspect Lulu is just about to figure this stuff out. And remember, BLQ doesn't know Gio's her kid. So Lulu may ask Ned about when Gio was born, and then maybe ask, oh, when was it that Brooke Lynn left town? Because she knows she gave birth somewhere else. Lulu may be putting this timeline together. She can't ask Lois or BLQ, so asking Ned makes sense. He didn't know she was pregnant, but he definitely knew where his daughter was at given points in time. Alexis has a meeting with Brooke Lynn and Chase. This may get the adoption process rolling. Sasha and Willow do some sparring. Obviously, they're going to be trading insults about Drew's wild night doing body shots off a prostitute. And Sidwell makes someone an offer they may not be able to refuse. And something stuns Tracy. And remember, BLQ was upset and is telling Tracy Lulu is a difficult person. And I wonder if they start bickering about BLQ and the pregnancy, because some things may come out. Tracy doesn't know that Dante is the daddy of the baby, and Lulu may tell her that. Second, Lulu may tell Tracy she suspects the baby is Gio, which, you know, Tracy is somebody that Lulu could and would open up to like this. The week of May 12th through the 16th, Portia faces fallout. Now that Brad outed Portia to Drew, all hell is going to break loose. He could, you know, blackmail her more, but why? Because she didn't really perform in the last blackmail. Drew may skip straight to pressing charges with Mac and may have asked Brad to testify. That would be worth $1 million. Brooklyn and Chase make baby plans, but then everything blows up because the Gio bombshell is coming out soon. Dante and Jason have to figure out how they are going to punish Rocco and Danny for what they did. And Tracy has a talk with Lulu about pressuring BLQ and everything that she's finding out. More on Dalton and why Emma's so desperate to be his assistant, an update on Sonny's heart surgery, and Rick fighting temptation to tell Molly about Kristina despite the big payday if he keeps quiet.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.